Hello and welcome to this shortened edition of Fact of the Matter 2012. I'm your host, Dan Bixler. To start off, let's go to Audra Briggs to find out how students here at BU felt about the 2012 election and if they decided to cast their vote this year. It's time to get real.
I'm Audra Briggs, and today I went around Bloomsburg University's campus to ask students if they voted in the presidential 2012 election, how they feel about the results of the election, and what they expect to see in President Obama's second term. Let's see what they had to say. Hi, what's your name?
Abby Lazorka.
Abby, and what's your year major here?
I'm a freshman nursing major.
And did you vote in this past election?
I didn't. I registered, but I didn't make it home in time. I forgot my absentee ballot.
And how did you feel when that happened?
I was kind of upset because I was looking forward to it. I was going to vote Romney, but I didn't get a chance to.
Mm-hmm.
Not that
maybe
really
that one vote would have made a difference.
Maybe.
But what do you expect to see in the second term from President Obama? Are you going to be keeping up with it?
I'll probably keep up with it. I'm not expecting to see much change, probably because I am registered Republican, so I haven't really seen much positive change in the past few years, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye on what's going on.
How are you going to use your experience where you had a little slip up with your voting last time? How are you going to use that to prepare you better for your election voting next time?
Well, for this upcoming election, I didn't watch as many of the discussions as I would want to. So now I'll make myself more educated and make sure that I actually make the time to vote, and if I'm not going to be present, make sure I actually fill out an absentee ballot.
And why do you think it's important for students like us to vote in the elections?
It's important because it's our generation that's up and coming, and so if we want to see a change, we have to partake. We can't assume other people to make the decisions and then get upset when we don't see outcomes that we want if we aren't even taking part.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm sorry you didn't get your chance to vote, but hopefully next time everything goes much better.
Thanks.
Hi, and what's your name?
Phelan Newsiler.
Phelan, and what year, what major are you here at Bloomsburg?
I'm a freshman, and I'm a French/marketing major.
Okay. And did you vote in this past election?
I did.
And why did you decide to vote in this election?
I felt like it was too close, and I wanted to, also because it was the first time I've had the chance to vote.
Okay.
So I felt like it was going to be too close to not vote. I want to get my voice out there.
Okay. And how did that feel voting for the first time?
Felt good. I didn't get a sticker, but it was satisfying.
I didn't get a sticker either. I got a little button, though.
I didn't get anything.
Did you vote on campus?
I did.
Okay. And what did you feel about the results of the election with President Obama's second term now?
I was happy that he won, although now that he won, I can go back to disagreeing with the things he did. I just felt like he has his serious problems, but he was definitely the better choice.
Okay, and is there anything you expect to see from the second term, like any major improvements or changes?
Well, Obamacare, obviously, that'll be put into effect. Other than that, not really sure. I feel like we're not told everything that happens anyway.
And are you expecting to keep up with the second term and watch more news coverages? Or
I usually watch The Daily Show and The Colbert Report because they
Okay.
make fun of the media that follows what the president does, I guess.
I feel like those shows are really popular, especially among the college student generation.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for today. Thanks for being on the show.
Yes.
Hi, and what's your name?
Khalid Ali.
And what year and what major are you here?
I came in 2011, and I'm a business management major.
And did you vote in this past election?
Yes.
And why did you decide to vote in the election?
I thought it was a big impact on my future, and it was something I should do.
And how did you feel about the results of the election and President Obama being reelected?
I was really pleased because I thought since he's been here for 4 years, he should have another 4 years just to finish what he thinks need to be accomplished.
And what are you expecting to see in this upcoming term?
More improvement, I believe, on education and definitely healthcare, unemployment.
Are those ones that affect you personally?
Yes, I have relatives and close siblings that's unemployed right now, and I believe they should have a job. And then healthcare, I have older siblings that was losing healthcare, and I think that's a big impact on our not only city but country as a whole. in education because I'm in school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it's great that you voted and you seem to have a lot of opinions. Thanks you so
Thank
much for
you.
being on the show.
No, thank you.
Hi guys, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
And can I ask you your year and your major here at Bloom?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm Stephanie Scatolini. I'm a freshman and I'm an accounting major.
And I'm Jared Halleck. I'm a junior and I'm a computer science major.
All right, guys. Now, Stephanie and Jared, that's right?
Yep.
Why did you guys decide not to vote in the election?
I didn't really follow the politics this year, and I just felt like I just shouldn't vote because I didn't really know, who to vote for or why. So I just felt obligated not to vote. I don't know.
What about you, Stephanie?
I feel the same way. I really don't follow politics, and I feel that my vote wouldn't be any contribution to the election.
Okay, so you felt like you weren't really aware of the topics and the people, so why should you vote? Are you gonna try to keep up with this coming term so you can vote in the next election?
Yeah, I think I should. I'm at the age where I should probably start following that stuff. So I think next year I'm definitely gonna follow it and vote.
What about
After
you?
this year, I plan on trying to keep up with it and participating in the election.
Well, thanks you guys so much for being on the show with me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
You too.
Hi, and what's your name?
My name is Ryan Cummings.
And Ryan, what year and what major are you here?
I'm a sophomore and I'm a marketing major.
Sophomore marketing major? And did you vote in this past election, Ryan?
Past election, no, I did not.
And why did you decide not to vote?
First, I didn't really find anything relevant for me at the time,
Okay.
and I didn't really want to waste my time trying to get home or fill out an absentee ballot. So
Are you planning to vote in the next presidential election?
I am, depending on who's running and if I feel that they could actually help us.
And do you like to keep up with the election even though you didn't vote? Did you watch any debates or watch some news coverages?
I watched some debates and I watched the actual election take place.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And what did you feel when you were watching that?
I could definitely tell that Barack Obama was going to win. I could tell that. But other than that, I didn't really feel anything. I mean, I found it kind of entertaining how they were really focusing on it. But other than that, it wasn't really that important to me.
Are you expecting to keep up with the second term to see what President Obama's doing, any changes or improvements that are going to happen?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely really changed since the last election. I mean, I definitely will pay attention more to what he's doing for our economy and for our personal rights.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Ryan.
No problem.
Hi, how are you today?
Fine, and yourself?
I'm good. What is your name and what's your year and major here at Bloomsburg?
My name is Nostalgia Jenkins. I'm a sophomore, and my major is mass comm communications.
Oh, I'm mass communications too. And did you vote in this past election?
Yes, I did.
And why did you decide to vote?
I decided to vote because, Obama made a couple of points there about education, healthcare, etc. And I just think it's good that we have someone that's, standing up for something that's right and important to all of us, as individuals. So.
And what are you expecting to see in his second term? Any specific changes?
Not so much of a change, but improvements on certain areas, such as, of course, education, healthcare, and that's basically what I want to see.
So you said education and healthcare. Are those ones that affect you personally?
Yes, because I also have relatives, that need equal opportunities with education and healthcare in the future. I have a lot of young siblings, so
for you, your family, you personally want them to be helped, and you think Obama will do that?
Yes, I think we will do that.
Well, thank you so much for voting in the election and being on the show.
Thank you.
As you can see, a lot of students are very excited to see what President Obama has in store for his second term. I'm Audra Briggs, and this is Get Real.
Thank you, Audra. Now we'll send it over to Pat Fisher to learn more about the recent petitions signed by citizens in many states with the desire to secede from the United States of America. Let's get down.
Welcome to another edition of Get Down. I'm your host, Pat Fisher. With Barack Obama being elected president for a second term came a rush of petitions from all 50 states requesting to secede from the United States. These petitioners used the We the People online petition tool from the White House's website. According to the site, if a petition meets the signature threshold of 25,000 in 30 days, it will be reviewed by the administration and they will issue a response. As of November 25th, 7 states passed the 25,000 signature threshold. These states include Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. This means that the administration will have to review their petitions and issue a response. However, a successful secession for these states doesn't seem likely. Why? First of all, census records show that these 7 states accounted for almost 1/4 of all federal revenue allotted to the states in 2010. These states, with the exception of Alabama, were among the largest recipients of federal funding in 2010 as well. This means that these states may be a lot more dependent on the federal government than those who signed the petition to secede may think. Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam said, "I don't think we'll be seceding. I don't think that's a valid option for Tennessee." Alabama Governor Robert Bentley released a long statement believing in one nation under God and that states can be great laboratories of change. A representative for Texas Governor Rick Perry said, "Governor Perry believes in the greatness of our union and nothing should be done to change it. But he also shares the frustrations many Americans have with our federal government." The petition for Texas to secede came after Louisiana's petition, but has gained more attention from the media. Micah Hurd, a 5-year Marine veteran and freshman at the University of Texas, composed the petition for Texas to secede. He said that he came up with the petition on a whim after seeing that Louisiana had a petition up on the site first. Hurd defends his petition by an oath he took in the Marines. He states, "I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, and that's an oath I took as a Marine. But I think we've got more enemies to the Constitution in country than we do out of the country, quite frankly." Texas's petition to secede says, "The U.S. continues to suffer economic difficulties stemming from the federal government's neglect to reform domestic and foreign spending. The citizens of the U.S. suffer blatant abuses of these rights such as the NDAA, the TSA, etc. Given that the state of Texas maintains a balanced budget and is the 15th largest economy in the world, it is practically feasible for Texas to withdraw from the Union, and to do so would protect its citizens' standard of living and resecure their rights and liberties in accordance with the original ideas and beliefs from our founding fathers, which are no longer being reflected by the federal government." Although Micah Hurd denies that the petition is in response to Obama's re-elected presidency, all 7 states passing the signature threshold, with the exception of Florida, gave their electoral votes to Mitt Romney. All these petitions generated a lot of attention after the election, but requests to secede from the United States were not the only petitions in the works. Requests from all 50 states to secede stemmed petitions against those who signed any petition for their state to secede. These petitions request the Obama administration to strip citizenship and deport those who signed any petition for any state to secede. Although this seems like a great deal of tit-for-tat retaliation, one of these petitions has passed the signature requirement threshold and will be reviewed and responded by the Obama administration. This petition, ironically, was submitted by an Alabama native and simply says, "Deport everyone that signed a petition to withdraw their state from the United States of America." On the other end of the spectrum, a petition requesting that Obama be impeached has also passed the signature threshold. This petition states the reason for impeachment being that Obama proclaimed war in Libya without getting Congress's approval first, Obamacare is unconstitutional, Obama disrespects our Constitution, and appointing agency czars without Senate approval. To add more to the mess of these petitions, individual cities like Austin, Texas have petitions requesting that in the event of their state seceding, they wish to remain part of the United States. Although it may seem like the United States is in the midst of another civil war, it is important to note that these petitioners represent only a small percentage of the United States population. Also, average citizens drafted these petitions, not state government. In fact, government officials in at least 3 of the 7 states have openly stated that they are against their state's secession from the United States. Whether these 7 states will be permitted to secede or not still has to be determined by the Obama administration. The administration will also have to review the petition for Obama's impeachment and the petition to deport those who signed a petition for any state to secede. While the outcome of these petitions is still to be determined, the Obama administration certainly has a lot on their hands in dealing with what's best for the United States of America. That's it for Get Down. I'm Pat Fisher.
Thanks, Pat. Now we'll leave you tonight with a small clip that explains the process of gerrymandering, which is a controversial strategy for politicians to take votes.
Most people have heard the word gerrymandering once or twice, probably during a presidential election. What exactly is gerrymandering? Essentially, it's the process of giving one political party an advantage over another political party by redrawing district lines. It's like Democrats trying to gain an advantage over Republicans, or Republicans trying to gain an advantage over Democrats. You see, each party wants to gain as many districts as possible so they can do things like control the state budget or set themselves up to win even more districts in the future. So, to understand how this process began and how it continues today, we must go back to 1812 in Massachusetts. Elbridge Gerry, the governor of Massachusetts, supported and signed a bill to allow redistricting, that is, redrawing the boundaries that separate districts. The catch? The new lines would favor Gerry's own political party, the Democratic-Republican Party, which no longer exists. You see, Gerry wanted his party to win as many state Senate seats as possible. The more members of your party who vote, the more likely you are to win an election. The new lines were drawn to include loads of areas that would help Governor Gerry in the future. They were so strange-looking that someone said the new districts looked like a salamander. The Boston Gazette added Gerry's name to the word salamander, and voila! Gerrymandering, the process of dividing up and redrawing districts to give your political party an advantage. So how exactly does someone go about protecting their own political party and actually gerrymandering a district? There are two successful practices: packing a district and cracking a district. Packing is the process of drawing district lines and packing in your opponents like cattle into as few districts as possible. If more districts equals more votes, the fewer the districts there are, the fewer votes the opposition party will get. Packing, then, decreases the opponent's voter strength and influence. Cracking is the opposite, taking one district and cracking it into several pieces. This is usually done in districts where your opponent has many supporters. Cracking spreads these supporters out among many districts, denying your opponent a lot of votes. When you have a large number of people who would generally vote for one type of party, those folks are known as a voting bloc. Cracking is a way to break that all up. So when would a party choose to pack their opponent's districts rather than crack them? Well, that really depends on what the party needs. To dilute your opponent's voters, you could pack them into one district and leave the surrounding districts filled with voters of your own party. Or, if you and your party are in power when it's time to redraw district lines, you could redraw districts and crack up a powerful district and spread your opponent's voters out across several neighboring districts. So, Governor Gerry in 1812 wanted to gain an advantage for his party and redrew district lines in his state in such a crazy way, we have a whole new word and way of thinking about how political parties can gain advantages over their opponents. Politicians think of creative ways to draw districts every few years. So, the next time an election comes around and politicians ask people to vote, be sure to look up the shape of your district and the districts that surround it. How wide does your district stretch across your state? Are all of the districts in your state relatively the same shape? How many other districts does your district touch? But always be sure to ask yourself, does my district look like a salamander?
That's all for us here at the BU TV studio. I'm Dan Bixler. May the vote be yours.